Hello, I am so happy you're here. In the last video, I talked about how the mindset with which you view your days greatly determines the amount of joy you can get from those days. Now, I love me a good analogy, and today I wanted to share one to try to illustrate what I meant about choosing more happiness. So, here we go. Imagine that you've decided to hike a big mountain. You know the view at the top is going to be stunning, breathtaking, and you'll have that endorphin high and that free feeling of looking out on that huge expanse of nature, basking in the simple and yet infinite meaning of sun and sky and clouds and mountains and trees and wildlife. The air will be clean and crisp and invigorating, and things will be just so much less complicated when you're on top of that mountain and away from society. And it will definitely be quieter. Now, I want to consider two different ways of going about this hike. First, let's start out at a steady pace, meandering through the worn and winding path with a slight incline through dense woods. The sounds are layered. The calls of different birds, the rustling of the leaves on the trees caused by the occasional breeze, the faint sound of what you will soon find out is a waterfall. You'll see it in about an hour. You'll also hear crackling sounds from chipmunks or squirrels or whatever on the side of the trail, scurrying through the ferns and over the twigs. There's the crunch of your own hiking boots as they step with purpose along the path of pebbles and packed dirt. And what you will see in any direction you glance is that there are an infinite number of mental snapshots available to you, which would be beautiful enough to be in a page, in a nature calendar, but yet they're just there for you to behold in that exact moment. Each step you take and each second that goes by gives you a new perspective on the view around you. The whole hike being a series of strung together peaceful moments you've never seen, and the sense of adventure that comes with knowing that along the way, if you're aware of your surroundings and looking for the beauty of them, you will have moments like stepping into a clearing halfway up the mountain where you feel the breeze on your face. You see another expansive mountain range far away in the tree-studded valley below, in the tenacious little trees that manage to somehow grow through just a crevice in the rock. You'll see sights that will stop you in your tracks, like when you stop in just the right spot to see the sun's rays breaking through an opening in the trees, shining so deeply golden it looks like you could touch the life-giving rays of the sun. They bathe everything they touch in warm light, making everything appear to just glow with life. And there will be part of the hike where the sounds of rushing water suddenly start to become noticeably louder. And as the path curves around to the right, it suddenly opens up, and there, in front of you, is a waterfall. Part of it thundering dramatically down and directly into the water basin below, but some of it cascading down smooth, water-worn rocks. The air is very clean and very humid, and you can smell that earthy scent of the intensely green moss that has taken its time growing on the stones. Now, during this whole time, you did not think of work once. You didn't worry about bills and schedules and obligations. You didn't even care what time it was. You were in the moment, allowing yourself to feel what the scenery evoked and appreciating beauty as it presented itself around you. These delights of the senses were intended for you, and this time was about you. And you were still determined and committed to climb to the summit, but you were, without a doubt, experiencing joy in the journey. You were living But there is more than one way to the summit. And the second type of hike is much easier and much quicker to describe because it assigns all the value and all the reward to reaching the summit. It involves eyes to the ground and watching one's footsteps and not looking up until you've achieved a goal that you've chosen for yourself. And only that is worth enough to have any meaning for you. This path up the mountain represents an I'll be happy when mentality. Like we talked about in the last video, I'll be happy when this happens, or I'll be happy if this happens. The way of thinking that has us convinced that there's no joy in the journey itself, only reward at the finish line. But the whole time we're looking down at our feet and trudging forward, we're missing an infinite number of blessings. And these are what make up truly living. Now, the difference between what your journey up the mountain is going to be like is determined by the mindset that you choose to have. You can train yourself to start looking for the good, and you will find that it has been there all along. So you see the first example of the mountain hike where you're so aware of all your senses perceive. It represents a mix of the two pathways to the greater baseline of happiness that I mentioned before. The joy you will find and the joy you create. On one hand, it shows how to find joy and appreciation in the small things, training our minds to notice the good, to look for it. Pause and appreciate when you find yourself outside on a gorgeous day where the temperature is just right, there's a gentle breeze, and you just feel the peace of simplicity. Look for those moments. Life is about those moments. And there's vicarious happiness. It's a blessing when someone you love, a parent, a spouse, a child, a best friend, has a proud moment. And you can be in that happy moment with them and for them. And even at work, every day, you are a living example of your life having meaning for other people. And you deserve to pause and enjoy happiness in the form of pride and self-respect that you give your life to have an impact on other people's lives every day, with or without appreciation. And the second part of generating more lasting happiness is creating more opportunities for ourselves to experience new things to appreciate, like the hike I described. Don't want to drive to a mountain range? Okay. I could suggest local places that would be worth your while. But what if hiking is not your thing? You could plan a half-day trip to a beach with someone that you don't mind being with. Maybe start the adventure swinging through a drive-thru for some caffeine. Maybe head to Rye, New Hampshire to walk a less crowded Genesee Beach, for example. Stop at PD's Seafood for some real New England cuisine. Or you got kids? You can chuck your kids in the car and go visit Kimball Farm in Westford. They've got mini golf, batting cages, bumper boats, animals, and last but not least, ice cream. Have older kids? Book an escape room adventure and then go out to lunch. It takes half a day and a speck of planning to give yourself the opportunity to live. If you're open to seeing it, I think you'll find that the little things in life are actually the big things. Don't wait to be happy. Start now. There is joy in every day. Find some, create some, and be well.